once the dogs come back from the puppy raising program, we review over the puppy's history of being with the families. We look over their medical history, and then we start to develop our rapport with the dogs and start to do their training, beginning with obedience.
They return to the Seeing Eye to begin 4 months of training with an instructor.
First week with a new dog here on campus, they get the dog used to working in harness. They're used to pulling out. Pulling is essential for a guide. They need to be able to pull someone so we can follow and really feel where the dog is going. So the instructors are working with the dog here in a fairly quiet and safe environment, teaching them to pull, getting them used to the harness. They review the obedience lessons that the puppies learned with their families and introduce a few more simple tasks. And then after that first week, they'll take the dog into town and start on very quiet, simple routes.
Each dog learns to stop at places like curbs, intersections, and stairs. This is necessary to assure safe travel.
We're seeing what the dog needs to work on. We're evaluating the dog's skills. It's just to see how they're doing with the rest of the dogs. We're seeing if they're stopping for curbs, if they're moving around objects. We're giving them slight traffic checks. Ideally, each trip or route will include some sort of destination, whether it's a pharmacy, or the movie theater, or a walk through the park. And any one of these situations, it's a lot to learn from.
The training techniques used by instructors today are largely unchanged from those used by the Seeing Eye's founders, although adjustments are constantly made in response to increasingly complex traffic and intersections. The basic elements remain the same: reward and repetition. When a dog performs correctly, the instructor immediately rewards it with petting and praise. Dogs are taught to recognize things that can create a barrier for a blind traveling partner, even when they create no barrier for the dog. When a dog is guiding, it is responsible for the safety of a team that is twice as wide and up to 3 times taller than the animal by itself. This is why Seeing Eye dogs are taught to walk around low-hanging branches and to give a wide clearance around obstacles on sidewalks. If they both can't fit, the dog finds another way. Throughout the 4 months of training, instructors continue to build on what the dogs have learned and begin to address the most important skill of all: intelligent disobedience.
Typical example would be you're standing on a subway platform. The person gets disoriented for whatever reason. They're facing the drop-off. They ask the dog to go forward. The dog refuses, or the dog turns them left or right away from the drop-off.
At any street crossing, it's the blind person's job to listen to the traffic and then tell the dog forward when the crossing is clear. A single car turning in front of the person might be too quiet to hear, but the dog will see it. In this case, the dog will consciously disobey the forward command, relying on its own judgment to protect the person from danger.
I think it's really rewarding. It's an important stage at the beginning of getting to know these dogs as completely as possible from the information we've been given, and to see what the strengths of this dog are coming right into the program and what some of the weaknesses may be. But the fun is developing that dog from scratch into a working guide, developing all those responsibilities.